Good morning. This presentation is about the selection process and the main evaluation criteria of the cost for capitalization projects. The evaluation process comes from a consolidated experience with features that derive from the first call for standard projects, as well as from the second call for capitalization projects. However, there are some new aspects that need to be taken into consideration. The first one concerns the submission of project proposals that is going to be in one stage only. This means that a proposal must be entirely submitted, therefore a full application form needs to be submitted, as well as the use of online e-form, e-application form is one of the main characteristics of this call. The languages in which the proposal must be submitted are either English or French. It is very important that the proposal is submitted within the deadline set for the call for capitalization project. No applications will be accepted after the deadline. The evaluation process is in one step only, and this is the new aspect of this call compared to the previous call launched by the ENI CBC program. However, the evaluation process is articulated into three main phases. Phase A concerns the administrative check. Phase B concerns the quality evaluation. This evaluation will be performed only for proposals having passed the administrative check. As far as the main criteria that will be assessed within the quality evaluation, there are relevance, quality of design, operational and financial capacity, effectiveness, sustainability, cost effectiveness. The last phase of the evaluation process is phase C, and it is the verification of the eligibility of applicants and partners organizations. At the end of the evaluation process, there will be a project selection committee consisting of one representative of each participating country that will meet in order to review the evaluation and to establish a ranking list of the projects to be financed. This list will be proposed by the project Selection Committee for the approval of the Joint Monitoring Committee of the Code. This slide shows the previous phases and the points that can be scored for each of the sections of the evaluation grid published in the guidelines for applicants of this course. As far as the quality evaluation is concerned, we have relevance, maximum score 20 points, quality of design, maximum score 20 points, operation and financial capacity, maximum score of 20 points, effectiveness, maximum score of 20 points, sustainability, maximum score 15 points, cost effectiveness, maximum score of 15 points. The total score that each proposal can obtain is 110 points. However, no proposal can be financed if it does not reach the minimum threshold of 80 points out of 110. Threshold is a new aspect compared to the previous call for proposals, and it is the only threshold set for this evaluation phase. The eligibility verification will be carried out after the quality evaluation for the proposals having passed the quality evaluation, and it will be carried out on the basis of hard copies of the documents that will be requested by the manager. This slide shows the evaluation process at a glance. In particular, the program with the available budget is expecting to receive about 150, between 150 and 250 proposals, and this slide shows the main steps of the call. Therefore, we have the publication of the call, the submission of the application forms, then the evaluation process starts with the administrative check. We will ask also the submission and the verification of supporting documents. We will have the quality evaluation, and finally the project selection meeting. Before the JMC decision on the final proposal issued by the first selection committee is taken, we will also carry out the European Commission inter-service consultation in order to avoid double funding and to ensure synergies with other initiatives financed in the program area. All this aspects are related to the step 1. Once again, this call only foresees one step, and at the end of this process, the program estimates to be able to finance about 18 projects according to the available financial capital for this call. The final Joint Monitoring Committee award decision is expected month 10 after the publication of the call. Let's move now to the evaluation process and to see the administrative check read that is published in the program website. There are no main differences between these administrative check read and those already used in previous calls. The read shows the main documents that are listed in the guidelines for applicants and that must be included when submitting the application form. The main documents are the declaration by the applicant that must be signed and uploaded into the system by the applicant. Then we have the electronic or scanned version of the partner statements, one statement for each partner participating in the proposal. These documents, as well as the declaration by the applicant, must be included and they must be in line with the formats available for this call. Therefore, do not use previous version in force with other calls. The main aspects to be taken into account are the headed paper or stamp, the date, and the signature. These aspects must be evident in the document. Therefore, make sure that these documents are complete. Another aspect that needs to be taken into account is a specific declaration for international organization. For the definition of international organizations, please refer to the guidelines for applicants. During the administrative check, we will check that besides the partner statement that still needs to be signed by the international organization participating as a partner, the specific declaration for international organization must also be included. If the proposal foresees to have associated partners, each of them must sign a specific statement that needs to be included in the proposal. Please note that if the proposal includes associated partners, the system will request the upload of these statements in order to allow you to validate the proposal and submit the proposal. During the administrative check, we will also check that the file containing the calculation of administrative costs for both applicants and partners is included, that the financial capacity form for both applicants and partners are in the proposal. There is a specific section of the e-form that contains this information, while the state aid self-assessment checklist that needs to be filled in by the applicant and the concerned partners must be uploaded into the system in order to be able to submit the proposal. Last but not least, during the administrative check, we will verify if the environmental screening, which corresponds to a specific section of the e-form, which is section number 3, has been filled in. Please note that this environmental screening is compulsory for priorities 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 4.1, 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4. Let's move now to phase B, which is the quality evaluation, and we will now have an overview of the main criteria that will be assessed during this step. First of all, the quality evaluation will be performed by independent external assessors, and each proposal will be assessed by 2 assessors who will work remotely, and each of them will score and draft comments for each criterion of the evaluation. The final score will be the arithmetic average of the scores given by each assessor. The first section of the evaluation brief is the one concerning the relevance of the proposal. Once again, for this section, we have a maximum of 20 points. In fact, 4 criteria are foreseen within this section. Each criterion can be scored from 1 to a maximum of 5 points, where 1 is very poor, while 5 is the highest score. The first criterion concerns the coherence with the program. Under this criterion, the program expects to be able to see a real cross-border approach and added value. In particular, we are looking for capacity building and people-to-people cooperation, as these aspects must be taken into account by each proposal. Criterion 1.2 concerns the target groups, and this is a key aspect of a proposal. In fact, a proposal must have clear definition and identification of target groups, and in particular, the proposal must contain the definition of the needs of the target groups that need to be addressed by the project. Finally, the cross-cutting issues and the cross-border context must be taken into account, since the ENI CBC proposals aim at having a real cross-border impact on the concerned territories, rather than solving a mere specific and single solution of a country. The third criterion concerns innovation. Assessors will look for the valuable and new innovative solutions for final beneficiaries. These solutions should go beyond the existing practice in the sector and or in the consent sector. The proposals are expected to define to which extent there will be a positive impact for the identified final beneficiaries. It goes without saying that a clear identification of the final beneficiaries must be included in the criterion 1.4 concerns synergies. Allow me to say that this is one of the most important criteria of this score. In fact, synergies must be listed and clearly demonstrated, especially with other initiatives at all levels, for example, international, EU, national, or even local level, and the project must explain how the results of the initiatives are exploited with potential fair-reaching effects and benefits in the concerned country. Therefore, the proposal must clearly demonstrate to have an added value and to build upon previous and ongoing investments and initiatives. Once again, capitalization projects are very, very important for establishing synergies, and this is the most important aspect of this criteria. Section number 2 of the quality evaluation is the quality of design. Once again, here we have a maximum score of 20 points, as we have 4 criteria to be assessed. The first criterion concerns the output and the needs. In particular, the proposal must show consistency of the foreseen output to be delivered with the needs of the target groups. It goes without saying that if the needs of the target groups have not been previously identified, these criterion will be affected by the description provided in the relevant section of the report. Criterion number 2 concerns the contribution to results. In particular, there must be clear evidence of the contribution that the outputs provide for the achievement of the expected results and the desired impact of the project. It is very important also the time frame for the delivery of the outputs, which must be logically connected and realistically planned. With the activities that will then be assessed in another section. Under these criterion, external assessors will also check whether the proposal foresees external conditions and identifies potential risks and remedies to overcome potential situations that could jeopardize the achievement of the expected results. Criterion 2.3 concerns result indicators. This criterion is very important because it provides the assessors with information on the feasibility and on the realistic impact of your proposal. Therefore, the quantification of the result indicators must be realistic. Proposal should avoid to be too optimistic in some sense, and the results must be achievable with the planned financial resources. Therefore, the key word here is avoid being to ambition. Criterion 2.4 concerns partners' competences. Under this criterion, the program wants to ensure that there is a coherence of each partner's competences, experience, and expertise with its planned contribution to the objectives, expected results, and outcomes. Therefore, it is of utmost importance that this information is available in the e-form under the specific section devoted to the description of the partnership. The third section of the quality evaluation 3 is the operational and financial capacity. Once again, we have a maximum score of 20 points, having this section 4 criteria as well. The first criterion under this section concerns the role and the tasks of the partnership, and there must be a clear distribution of the tasks within the partnership, as well as demonstrated active contribution of all partners to the achievement of project objectives. In particular, proposals should avoid concentrating all the activities in one or two partners only, but proposals must clearly show the added value of the partnership through the description of the specific contribution provided by each organization taking part. Criterion 3.2 concerns expertise, and under this criterion, external assessors will check the complementarity of the competences and expertise with the partnership. This criterion is therefore linked to the description of the previous experience of the partners and the applicant to be provided under the relevant section of the e-form. Criterion number 3.3 concerns management. In particular, we are looking for projects that can be smoothly implemented within the given time frame, which is maximum 24 months. For this reason, proposals must demonstrate to have adequate management capacities in terms of staff and previous experience and capabilities of the partners carry out activities, and most important, of capacity of the applicant to coordinate and ensure proper management of the last criterion under this section is the one concerning the financial capacity. This criterion aims at ensuring that the partner has adequate financial resources to ensure cash flows through the entire project duration. Moreover, there must be a consistency between the amount that will be managed by each organization involved in the partnership and its actual financial capacity. Please note that the application form has a specific section devoted to financial capacity. In order to fill in this section, please refer to the info fact sheet provided by the program in the documents published for this course. Section number 4 of the quality evaluation grid concerns effectiveness with the maximum score of 20 points. The first section concerns the methodology. Once again, we're going to assess a clear and effective management and coordination methodology. In particular, the proposal must include a description of management and coordination activities, outputs, in order to ensure that the project has already management and coordination plan. Section number 4.2 concerns indicators. Please note that indicators are already given by the program. Further information will be provided in the presentation concerning the key form. Under this criterion, external assessors will check that realistic and very well ponderated result indicators have been chosen by the proposal in relation to the activities that concern territory values. Criterion number 4.3 concerns action plan. In particular, there must be a logical sequence of activities included in the action plan that must be also realistic and feasible. Please note that activities are the key aspect that will ensure the delivery of the outcome. Criterion 4.4 concerns communication. For capitalization projects, communication is a must, and it is one of the key aspects that must be taken into account by the applicant and partner. Therefore, external assessors will check if the proposal contains an effective, clear communication strategy, moreover, financial resources must be adequate in order to ensure the proper implementation of communication activities. And finally, the description of the communication strategy shall ensure to be able to raise the awareness of the target groups and of the general audience. Section number 5 of the quality evaluation is about sustainability of the proposal, and here we do have 15 points maximum score, as this section contains 3 criteria only. The first criterion concerns multiplier effects. In particular, assessors will check if the proposal shows to have regional, local, national, Mediterranean effects in the territory. Moreover, multiplier effects of the proposal should provide evidence of effective actions that will ensure the transfer and the capitalization of the results. Criterion number 5.2 concerns the sustainability, and the sustainability aspects that will be taken into account in the evaluation concern the financial, the institutional, the policy, and the environmental. Last but not least, criterion 5.3, which concerns policy impact. In particular, we're looking for projects which can have an impact on policy makers, that can achieve policy change, policy learning, or policy innovation. The last section of the quality evaluation concerns the cost effectiveness. Once again, here we have 15 points maximum score, as this section has 3 criteria. The first criterion concerns the work packages, and in particular the financial allocation per work package must be consistent with foreseen activities and outputs. Costs must be realistic, necessary, and justified. In order to have a complete picture on how to draft the budget, you should check the presentation on the budget of the people. Section number 6.2 concerns the expected results, and under this criterion, assessors will check the value for money of the proposed statement. Therefore, they will check that there is a satisfactory ratio between the expected results and the cost. Finally, criterion 3 of this cost effectiveness section is about the design of the budget. The main aspect that will be considered concerns the logical distribution of the budget among partners, which is strictly linked to the involvement of the partners, and along the project to achieve the expected results and ensure cash flow. Please note that in order to check a proper design of the budget, external assessors will use also the financial plan that is contained in the e-form. For further information, you should refer to the presentation on the budget of the e-form. The last phase of the evaluation process concerns the eligibility check, which is going to be based on supporting documents to be provided upon request of the managing authority only. In particular, the list of the documents that is also contained in the guidance for applicants includes the statutes or articles of association of both applicants and partners. These documents are going to be used in order to prove the exact legal status of the organization. Please note that the legal status is a key aspect which is also linked to the financial capacity. Therefore, make sure that your supporting documents are in line with the choice of the correct legal status to be made in the e-form when describing the composition of the partners. Another important document concerns the composition of the management board, and in particular, this composition, as well as any other relevant document proving that the person who had signed the partner statement or declaration by the applicant was actually entitled to sign. Therefore, he could legally represent the organization. The partnership agreement, whose template is provided among the documents published for this call, that has to be signed by the applicant and all project partners. Finally, the external audit official's report on applicants and partners' annual accounts for the last 2 financial years. This is very important because the external audit report is requested in order to prove that the financial information included in the financial capacity form of the e-form of the application corresponds to the actual situation, financial situation of the organization. We note that external audit official report is not going to be requested to public administration, public bodies, including bodies governed by public law, and international organizations. In fact, these types of organizations will be considered automatically reliable from a financial point of view. Therefore, there is no need to prove their financial capacity. If you do have any questions, you should submit your inquiry by using the frequently asked questions section published, available at our program website. And here is the link to me. Thank you very much for your attention.